So I've been using different lights and lighting accessories for a few years now, and I was recently sent this little handheld light, and it's quickly become not only my favorite light, but potentially my favorite new piece of tech for 2024. This is the Cinepia CX100, and in case you're thinking about buying one yourself, I'm going to review it by going through the design and the build quality, the size and the brightness of the light, and then lastly I'll just tell you all the reasons why I'm loving it so much, and then a couple of things that I think would actually make it perfect that's missing from this light. So the CX100 retails for $200 US, and it's designed as a handheld COB LED light, and COB just stands for chip on board, which refers to the type of LED that it is. Typically these are a lot brighter and use up less power than standard LED lights. So first let's talk about the build quality and the design of this light. And right out of the box, I've honestly been really impressed with the build quality. This is the third product I've received from Joyon now, and I've been very impressed every single time. The light itself is mainly built of high quality plastics, which I've got no issues with. The actual mount where you can put your light modifiers and the cooling system around the COB LED is all made up of metal, which makes sense. And it just feels really solid. It feels like a high quality piece of equipment, especially for something that's $200 US. For me, there were just a couple of things that kind of lost points on the build quality, and that was the two control knobs. So there's a control knob for the color temperature and then a control knob for the brightness of the light. And these knobs just feel a little bit flimsy, a little bit plasticky. And then for me, it also lost a couple of points just on the base of the light. There's 2/4 inch mounting points, which is really handy. However, there's just no padding. So when I attached it to some of my light stands, it did leave some scratch marks on the plastic, which again isn't a huge deal. It's still perfectly functional, but just something worth pointing out. Other than that, I think the overall design looks really good. I think it's a pretty cool looking light. I really like the see-through front on the light. It's kind of a trendy look these days, and I'm personally a fan. It's also actually a really simple design overall, which I also quite like. It doesn't have any display screens, it doesn't have Bluetooth connectivity or anything like that, and I think that's mainly to keep the costs down. But in a lot of ways, I really don't miss those types of features because I find screens can overcomplicate things a bit, and then Bluetooth, often I find that I don't really use the Bluetooth functionality on lights like this. So just having that simplicity of just using the analog control knobs is kind of nice. The battery essentially doubles as a hand grip, and for me it actually feels really comfortable. It's got nice rounded edges, and because most of the weight is in the battery, it feels quite nicely balanced when you're holding it. The other kind of minor thing is I just wish that it had some sort of protective cap for that COB LED. It is protected with a solid plastic that feels really sturdy, so I don't think there's much chance of damaging the chip, but I don't know, it would be nice just to have some sort of plastic cover for a little bit of extra protection. So overall, I'm really impressed with the design and the build quality of the CX100. So next up, let's go through the size and portability. Like I said, this is designed as a handheld device, and to me it absolutely delivers on that. The actual light is incredibly slim when you consider how bright this thing gets at 100 watts. It's really only a little bit bigger than a standard handheld LED panel, and so for me this is 100% becoming a camera bag staple. I'm going to take this anytime I go out for shoots. It weighs 710 grams, which isn't as light again as a standard LED panel, but it's not so heavy that you're going to get tired, especially if you use two hands to hold it up. I also really like the fact that you can prop it up just on its own, either horizontally or vertically, which means you won't need a stand when you're out and about if you've got a place to prop it up. If you do want to use stands or accessories, like I said, it's got those 2/4 inch mounts in the bottom, and then it has that 4500 milliamp hour battery attached to the side. It's permanently attached, you can't detach the battery, but you can also power the light using USB-C or a 24 volt DC power cable. On the website, it says it gets 30 minutes at 100% brightness, but in my experience, I was able to get just under 45 minutes at 100%. So next up, let's talk about the actual light itself and how bright it gets. So like I said, the CX100 gets up to 100 watts in brightness, which to me is insane for something this small. I've personally never seen or used a handheld light that gets this bright, and when you add the included reflector, it gets even brighter. And I found the reflector coming in really handy when I've just been wanting to light up a specific subject and avoid lighting things up around it. In the box, you also get a silicone diffuser, which you can just add to the end of the reflector. And once again, I found this does a really great job. Obviously, it's never going to be as diffused as a full-size softbox, but comparing it to a standard LED panel, I think this diffuser does an amazing job. And you can even get a Bowens mount adapter for this light, which I think is pretty amazing and really smart, so that you can mount it to bigger softboxes and full-size lighting accessories, which to me just increases the versatility of this light even more. And speaking of versatility, the light is also bicolor color, ranging from 2700 Kelvin all the way up to 6500 Kelvin. And you've probably seen me using it in my more recent videos as a warm rim light, which finally brings me to the reasons why this light has become my new favorite. To me, it's almost the perfect extra light, apart from having a main key light that most YouTubers I think would find really useful. And that's because it's so much brighter than just a standard LED panel, but also it's just so versatile. You can use this across so many different applications. Like for example, for me, I've been using it in my videos as a rim light. I find it works better than an LED panel because it's brighter, plus with the reflector, you can focus the direction more and avoid more spill. You can also use it as your main key light, which is pretty cool because of the brightness, plus the ability to attach it with a Bowens mount adapter to regular softboxes. Means you could easily set this up as your key light. You could even just bounce the light off a wall and you'd still get great results as a key light. I found it useful as a fill light in 3-point lighting situations, especially again when bouncing it off a wall. You can use it as a background fill light to brighten up environments. And I've even been using it as a practical light in the background of some of my recent B-roll shots. And I think it just looks really cool. And again, because you can diffuse the light as well as focus it, to me that makes it more versatile than a standard LED panel, which is a lot harder to focus. Yeah, you can diffuse LED panels, but they aren't typically as focused as when you use a reflector. But I think there's really two things that are missing from this light that I think would make it perfect. And the first is the ability to make the dimmest setting on the light just a bit dimmer. I find even putting this at 10-20%, it's kind of too bright for some applications, and that is when a regular LED panel comes in handy because you can take them down to a much lower setting. So if this had a broader range of really dim to super bright, that would be amazing. But I'm guessing there's probably limitations with CRB technology to have that kind of broad range. And then the other thing is the ability to have full RGB. And once again, I think that would totally increase the price, and this would no longer be a $200 light. It'd probably be more like a $400, $500 light. But can you imagine something like this? Super small, compact, handheld, having full RGB, bicolor at 100 watts. Like, this would be a game changer. And I mean, to me, it already is. Like, I'm using this literally every week at the moment in almost all of my content. And as an alternative, I was also sent the Cinepia CM25, which is a more typical handheld LED panel. And at 25 watts, this also gets actually really bright, but it's got a much bigger relative range. So you can turn this down to really dim for more sensitive lighting situations. But it's also bicolor and includes a cooling fan, and is significantly cheaper at only $70 US. So there you have it. I just continue to be really impressed with Zhiyun's gear. I think of all the main lighting companies out there, they're just doing some really innovative stuff and kind of thinking outside the box when it comes to lighting gear and doing things that I haven't really seen done before. Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more of this type of content. And if you're interested in more lighting reviews, I did a full review of the Molus G200, which is what I'm using as my main key light right now, and you can check that video out right here.